Hello, Pluripod people, Pluripodsters, Pluripodists. It's episode 4 of Pluripod, and we're so glad you joined us. It's me, Matt Waterworth, joined by my co-host, Victoria Givlin. We are here to bring you a little conversation about episode 4 of the Apple TV show Pluribus. It's called Please Carol, and we have a really good time talking about this episode. We get right into spoilers, so please make sure you've watched all 4 episodes up to this point. We're going to spoil everything up to and including episode 4. So join us. And if you have any questions, if you want to jump into the conversation, you can email us, Pluribus at, it's Pluripod at gmail.com. And of course, you can go to pluripod.com. You can make comments in the YouTube comments. You can hit subscribe on the podcast on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. We're so glad you're here. If you're watching, fantastic. If you're just listening, also fantastic. And let's dive right into it. Episode 4, Please Carol. All right. Hey.
All right. Hello.
We're back. It's Pluripod episode 4. And this is kind of the first episode we've recorded, really kind of getting a feel for getting the episodes out into the world, and it's been really nice to get a bit of a response from people. We've had some comments, some feedback. You're the one who's so good about reminding us to comment and get engaged with the show. And I should mention, because we had a friend of mine reached out and mentioned he doesn't really know how to leave a comment, so he just sent me an email. And so we do have a Gmail account, pluripod at gmail.com. If people want to email us there, you can always message us on Instagram or leave a comment on YouTube, and you can check out pluripod.com. I think you can do comments in Spotify now too.
Okay.
So yeah, we're trying to catch it all. We're in a lot of places. Like, the show is on so many different platforms. It's very exciting.
Join us.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, before we dig into this episode, which was an interesting one, I wanted to share a little bit. I got a long email, like I said, from my friend John Smiley. And
that a name.
I know, right? That is
what
his
a
name. Yeah.
name. That's perfect.
That's right. Yeah. So let me just grab a couple of little excerpts from it, because he had a lot of thoughts. And thank you to everyone who did comments and reached out. Please keep it coming. A couple cool things that I thought John said about these last episodes. He says he doesn't think Gilligan tells classic morality tales. He's been watching Breaking Bad at least 7 times and Better Call Saul at least thrice. He says the lens he's placing on the show is one of the philosophical source of contentment and human satisfaction. And he also says we see the others bending to the will of the unassimilated, wanting to make them happy by providing externals that they desire. This is a common belief of humanity, of course, that we can finally be happy once we whatever. So one thing I like about John is he's a stoic.
I love stoics.
Yeah, and he's one of the people in my life who didn't introduce me to it, but was kind of like an access point to it. So I'm curious to hear more about what he has to say about it as the show progresses.
And I like that insight too.
Yeah.
That we often feel like once I have that job, once I hit this many followers, once I get that partner, whatever it is, that's going to be where the pinnacle of happiness will land. And you're like, once I achieve that, then I will be happy.
Right.
But, they're always saying that it's in the journey, not in the destination.
Mm-hmm.
If you can find the capacity to find the joy in the journey itself, then you'll have a lot more fun than just
so true.
do it.
And I think also true about your enjoyment of this show. I think some people, and I'm guilty of it at times, are getting a little frustrated, wondering, why doesn't Carol ask more specific questions?
Mm-hmm.
And she does this episode, which we'll talk about. But there is something to be said for this is a piece of entertainment. And it is also obviously, a reflection of society, and it has some things to say. And
I think I saw an article somewhere about, if we just delivered certain pieces of information, the show would kind of stop working, and that's okay. We're not watching it as like an experiment. We're watching it to enjoy, and I'm certainly enjoying it. So
Yep,
yeah.
absolutely. Because now we got to see, I'd say, 5 truths that she decided about the other that she wrote
right on the whiteboard. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So we are getting a little bit more clarity, but it's also leaving us with more questions, which is interesting.
For sure.
But
yeah.
I also think that if we can find that feeling of the joy on the road of it to the destination, I think the destination actually comes faster.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I think any good show is going to be careful about dripping information out carefully, and we've talked about that. And I definitely needed more. I mean, one of the big characters on the, or big performers on the cast list we hadn't seen up until this episode.
Yeah, the gentleman that was hanging out with his storage lockers,
that's
right? And we
right.
finally, and him eating the flashback that we're seeing from when Carol called him, and I love him. Like, he's so stubborn, knocking over the food when the others brought it for him, and then going through the storage units and apologizing for like going through their shit.
Yeah, writing the note saying, well, like, remuneration will be offered for, like, he's obviously got some very specific moral character that he lives by,
and paranoid.
Oh, for sure.
But I don't blame him.
No, of course.
You know? But this sitting there eating and like seeing the dog food cans.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Him just watching him eat the dog food it was such a good performance.
Whoever did the sound on that was fantastic, because like you could feel the crunch and you're like,
And it wasn't too much. Like no. It could have gone overboard, but
yeah.
So anyway, overall thoughts on this episode from you?
I'm really glad that we saw Carol take some action again.
Yeah.
And that we're starting to lay out a map of what's going on, and that we've met another immune person other than her that isn't just going with the flow.
Right.
So I really appreciated that. What did you think of this episode?
Yeah, I mean, I was one tiny little nit I haven't yet picked was, how come Carol isn't mourning Helen, right? Like, we don't really see her, and maybe, I wrote it off as like, well, maybe anger is sort of the way that she mourns, and we've certainly seen that. It just felt like she didn't really, once she's in the ground, we didn't really get any time to see Carol like sort of mourning her.
She did have her moment, which I thought was cool, with the pharmacy, where it was basically like injecting a truth serum to her, and she had the breakdown of like, I miss her so much. So we saw that. That was the only breakdown we've seen of losing Helen.
And it was so interesting to watch her react to herself in that moment, like how she kind of like was like, oh, let's get back. I mean,
she's so bangable.
That's it. Oh my god, that whole sequence was amazing.
Zosha, blonde. Zosha.
So okay, let's go from the top.
Mm-hmm.
We're
7 days into it.
Oh, is that what
right?
It is?
Yeah, and it's counting up.
Right. Okay.
And this gentleman is going through radio frequencies with a timer.
Yes.
Right? Like, he's trying to find, that's my understanding, is he's trying to see if someone else is on the radio.
Yeah.
Similar to when Carol was like flicking through the TV episodes.
Right. Sure.
And that's just not working, though.
I couldn't, I don't know if there's more to it than that or not, but like, it just seems like kind of a waste of time. Especially if, like, now that we see his side of that phone call too, it's like, clearly, if he's had some conversations with the others, Carol was not a member of the others.
No, she wouldn't. They wouldn't talk to you. Right, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you would think he would be a little bit more interested in who she is, but maybe he doesn't care.
Which is interesting, because the character is searching for someone, and then he finds something.
He's obviously looking to connect. I assume he's looking for someone, but it's so weird because he's not broadcasting anything.
No.
So how does he know that somebody who's looking for it isn't just listening the same way he is? Like,
yeah.
like I'm confused by that. I don't know if I missed something
Pick
or
a channel, broadcast something, and then go looking for other channels.
yeah. Or yeah. I maybe there's more to learn about what he's up to there, but yeah, he obviously has a plan around that, and he's starving as well.
Yeah, the licking of the tuna can. I thought the symbolism of the flies around, the bag that he had was, we're seeing this again. It's another theme of things. But yeah, the licking the tuna can was kind of gross. And then when the others dropped off another one of his plates that he probably would have enjoyed, and he just, you can tell he's hungry.
Yeah, he has sort of a moment of longing.
Yeah.
And then, no, he's not going to be eating that. And I assume it's for the same reason as Carol. He's assuming he's going to be, get a virus or be consumed by them in some way if he eats that. And he is not about it. And honestly, it's nice to see someone with this reaction.
Yeah,
like Carol feels like she's been stuck in between, the people who are like, oh, let's just all become part of this big hive mind. And she's like the only one who's feels sane in that situation. And now, hopefully, we have someone who's going to be more of a part of the show. I was like, I wonder how they're going to meet. But the others will fly you anywhere on air.
If he would get on a plane,
right?
If he would trust,
my guess is Carol is going to go to him.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we move to Carol. She's at the hospital.
Yes.
Right?
So Zosha is recovering from the grenade, which is Carol's obviously feeling very guilty about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her I should have understood that you would still give me a grenade when I asked for one. And that you would give me another one.
Right.
Yeah. And, how they start the episode saying we would move heaven and earth to make you happy, Carol.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then she tries one car, it doesn't work. She takes a cop car.
Right.
And then they start talking to her they're like, you can talk to us through the microphone or the walkie-talkie. And she refuses. And then they offer her to bring her Range Rover back.
Right.
And she says no.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, and they're like, we can remove that. Again, it's so hard to pin the others down because I forget they had a much better, obviously correct name for whatever the device is that it's like a breathalyzer that prevents you from being able to
Yeah, because they said
drive.
They could take that out.
They could take that off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is that's probably not a good idea though. But they're giving her heroin too, so.
Yeah, and what does it matter if why doesn't she have a grenade in the car without the breathalyzer? There's no big, whatever makes you happy, Carol.
Somebody's going to make a poster of Carol driving a Range Rover drunk and throwing a grenade out the window.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. And then she comes home, right? And the others are all fixing her house from the grenade.
Yes.
And she's upset. And they literally say, remember, you said that we could do this. And you nodded to us in the ambulance, but we also understand that right now you're upset.
Yeah.
So we will leave and we can come back and finish it later. And they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
and she pinpoints that one gentleman.
Yes.
And
who is actually the mayor of Albuquerque.
Yeah.
That is true in real life, the real life mayor.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. Another shout out to the official podcast. I was able to listen to it before we were
mayor.
And it's the actual mayor. It's pretty cool. That's a cool cameo for sure.
That is a cool cameo, and it's smart marketing
for sure.
For sure.
He's a good actor too. He did a great job.
And then she asks the other gentleman to come in and start answering some questions.
Yes. This very tall fellow in a bike uniform.
Yeah. Yeah, that was funny. It was a biking uniform and to each their own, right? But it just seemed like a very tight biking uniform.
It did, yeah. And
a large man.
And again, we're still learning about the others and how they operate, but why would they still be in these kinds of clothes? Why would they not choose? Because they're, we learned from Zosha that they're resting at night. So why would they not put them in fresh clothes. It's not like I understand it when it's like when they were cleaning up the bodies and they had a lot of work to do. But I don't understand why everybody has to be in like their TGI Fridays uniforms. It's funny. It's a cool nod to what's going on, but I don't know if it makes as much sense anymore. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see.
Like the people of authority that she was leaning to at first was like that White House gentleman and wearing his suit, and the pilots again were wearing their thing. But the civilians are here to help you, right?
Right.
You can trust us. So
yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. Maybe it's another way of like accessing Carol, because they were right that she was looking for an authority figure to say everything's going to be okay in that moment. Now she's maybe changing her direction on that a little bit.
Yeah, when she starts questioning him, she says like she doesn't believe at first that they actually have read her books, that they truly have. You read them?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you like my books? We love them.
Yeah.
Which ones? All of them.
Which parts?
Yeah.
All of them.
Sounds like you haven't read them. Yeah. Oh, but we have. And then she recounts page 2 and like quotes word for word. Yeah. And then she says, how does it compare to Shakespeare?
Right.
And they respond that they equally love it.
Right.
Equally as much.
Yeah.
And to the same of Romeo and Juliet. And she can't believe it. But it's because the gentleman explains they're experiencing it through many eyes and many observers, so they can find the love in it that's equal to Shakespeare.
Yeah, I mean, like, I really want to hear from you on this. Like, this was an interesting conversation for any artist or any creator. Like, what was your vibe on that? That is a cool feeling to be like, oh, someone in the collective consciousness really resonated with that. And others didn't. And we learned maybe that Helen was one of the people who didn't really love the work. Yeah.
That was really interesting about saying how it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they said, remember Moira, that crazy book fan of yours. And she's like, oh, yeah, she was wild. And she's like, yeah, but your books literally changed her life because she was gonna end her life, right? So,
and that's something you hear a lot. Like creators will often hear from people, even small creators will hear like, wow, like you saved my life by doing what you're doing. And I think it's an interesting reflection of what's going on with creativity and content in general right now. Is we're getting to a point where we're just going to have endless content for whatever sort of niche we're most interested in. And I've thought about this for a while, and about how, like, I often say we're never going to have the Beatles again.
Yeah.
Because there's just not going to be mass appeal like that. Now we can niche down into everything so directly, and we can have as much content as we can handle in a particular area. Like, when I was a kid, Star Trek: The Next Generation was like amazing. Wanted more of that, but it was like the only show on TV that was about, space exploration, and now I could every hour I can fill with sci-fi content I can now. So yeah, it's interesting that that there's like that was a form of gatekeeping in a way. It wasn't really intentional, but now we have just so much access to it, and it's an interesting reflection. Again, Vince didn't write this episode, but from sort of Vince's perspective, I'm sure he's heard that, right? Like your work has saved my life. That's a pretty powerful and interesting thing. And it's cool that it's getting fed back this way, I think.
I think it's being recycled too, and that it keeps kind of Easter egging into it, because the first episode with Helen, she goes, even if it impacted one person, it may not be art, but like at least it's enough, right? So it's like, well, the idea, that's an interesting thought too. Like the idea that you can appease everyone and that you can make everyone happy with your work when you're being authentic. I mean, especially when I was younger, like I couldn't stand people not liking me. Like I needed to do everything I could, which is a people pleasing problem, but
yeah, for sure.
Right
there with you though.
we like making people happy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's this idea of, not everyone is going to like it, but those that really do resonate with you, like those are your people. But even in that case, Carol was like, but she was in that case. Like she
Right.
didn't. But I thought it was interesting how she started questioning about Helen, and they said, but we're respecting you because you said Helen's off limits.
Right.
And they're like, but this one special time,
Yeah.
this one special time, we'll let you.
Dispensation, Carol said.
Yes.
Was this before or after the whiteboard? I think it was.
This was before.
Right, and then she goes back to it,
Yeah.
And so one little Easter egg as well was we saw notes for Waikaro 5.
Number 5, yeah, because number 4 was just released.
Right, so she's obviously planning another one of these books, and we learn about Bitter Chrysalis, her more passion project-y book that she wants to put out there.
It even said there too on Ruban, will Ruban truly die this time?
Right.
And I thought it was weird too that Ruban has been switched from Helen to Zosha.
What do you mean?
Like, I thought that she had mentioned that in her truth serum notes, that Ruban was the embodiment of Zosha. And I thought Ruban was the embodiment of Helen.
Right. Helen was
like,
yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
But of course the others brought her Zosha
because
she looked like. But I always thought there was a bit of a flaw in the logic there too, because I mean, just because Ruban is on the cover and he looks like Zosha doesn't mean that Carol drew that picture.
If I'd done market research on the audience, this is what the character would like most.
Right.
Or we're just like, no, that's my fantasy man on the cover, right? Because she doesn't even admit that she's a lesbian.
Right.
But, or bisexual. I don't know. I don't want
they have to talk about it.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. What did you think? What did Helen think of my books? It's harmless. And it's like cotton candy.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, are they implying that it's a lot of fluff? And then when she says, Helen thought you knew how to win the audience, she doesn't want to tell you. And then she says, but why won't you tell me? It would make me happy. But she knows that what Helen truly thought might upset her.
Right.
She said fine or meh, and she said meh. She stopped on page 137, but the book was like 400 pages long.
Right.
She skipped to the end, and she said that she could go viral. She wanted to make you happy. Yeah, because she said she asked, well, why would she let me publish it? And she's like, well, she talked to the publisher, and she said that it wouldn't hurt your career, meaning that the trash romance would do better.
Right. Financially, at least.
Financially, yeah.
But the like doing the passion project book wouldn't do any harm.
Yeah, and then she wrote on the whiteboard that they're weirdly honest and they can't lie.
Yeah, and that was the big discovery is they can't lie.
No,
and it does seem like she has to do some coaxing to get it out, but that does seem to be a useful piece of information.
Yep.
And again, like I've talked about it before, I'm a big fan of rules. Set the rules and stick to the rules. And so if that's the rule, although I won't call it a rule, it's more of a theory on Carol's part. We don't know for a fact, but it seems pretty accurate that if she presses, she can get the answers she wants. Although we see later that that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, so she goes to, once learning this information that they have to be honest, she goes to Zosha again, and they chat about, back to the cop car. Are you happy with it?
Yeah.
She said, actually, she apologizes to Zosha for not having the foresight to see that she would get her in danger.
Right.
And she said, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal at all. Yeah, and then says, can you answer some questions? And she says, of course. Is there a way to reverse
Yes.
the joining?
Yes, and and I was like, thank you. Finally, this is the question we need.
Yeah,
the answer to. Yeah, and it was a little bit confusing because
she doesn't answer.
And
then she says not because she's trying to see if she can maneuver her to give some truth.
Yeah.
Right?
So she rewords the question, and then And then she's like, yeah, obviously if it wasn't possible, then you would just tell me it's not.
She says we can't answer questions like that.
Right. But Carol believes she knows it is possible.
Yeah.
Because she didn't really answer the question.
And she tells her, and
That's
it would
not
make me
perfect
happy.
logic.
Yeah.
Like I'm a little nervous about that. But yeah, and obviously, we see what happens. But so is that where she goes into the pharmacy room?
So we talk a little bit about the Freedom Falls camp.
Okay.
So she says, soon enough, you'll understand and you'll feel so much better. And then she starts bringing up the Freedom Falls camp, which is when she was 16.
Oh, right.
And her mother took her to one of those camps that's supposed to straighten you out, literally,
right,
from your sexuality. And how she was forced to do that, and all the counselors were smiling and telling her how great that was, and she's relating that to the others. And you're forcing me to change. And this was interesting, as Zosha said, but we have been you, and you have never been us. And it is so much better to be us. Yes.
Another extremely compelling argument that like is so true, right? Like we know what it's like to be you. You don't know what it's like to be us. And it's like, damn it, that's a good point. I would understand and agree. Like if there was a way to reverse it, if there was a way to come back from it, then I might be convinced to be like, okay, probably not. But it's a good argument.
And then she goes to the pharmacy.
Got it.
Yeah. And I thought that was really interesting. She was having foresight this time because she was asking for heroin, right? And she's looking for the dosage. It's interesting to me that she even knew what, like, I mean, I guess she was looking for it, but that there was a serum that could basically be like an inhibitor that would give you truth.
Yeah.
Right? Do you have heroin? Food for thought. And that's the interesting thing, because they're like, well, we don't stock that. We're a pharmacy. And then the guy starts telling him why you shouldn't be doing heroin.
Right.
And she's like, but you gave me a grenade. Like, why are we talking about? And then he says, well, the closest one is like 8 kilometers away. We're delivering it for you.
And it's on its way.
Yeah. And then she said, like, are you going to shoot heroin? We don't recommend you do it with a needle.
Yeah, and maybe you should snort it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're going to sit viciously like the Chelsea Hotel. I'm going to do that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Carol had some great lines this episode, actually.
Yes, she did.
Yeah. So did I miss anything? I've only seen it once. Did I miss anything with it? Like she pretty quickly found the formula book that simplified dosage.
Yep.
Calculations.
Yep. Rip the sheet out.
How does she know all this? How does she know that this drug even exists, or what it's called, or how? Like,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm worried I missed something, or maybe she's got a background in this area that we don't know about. But anyway, it feels like there are a few things that are either like we'll find out more about later, or just maybe everybody knows about this and I just don't know about drugs.
I mean, yeah, I guess it depends. Like, I would know that going into a pharmacy means that there are substances that can do certain things.
Sure.
I didn't recall or really know that there was something specific that could actually give you a truth. But I mean, like, people get people drunk for that, or
sure,
whatever.
And I guess actually Carol didn't necessarily know either, given that she tests it.
Yeah.
Later on. The heroin is interesting, though. She actually takes the heroin.
And she admits that she's done it before.
That's true.
That
yes.
was, yeah.
Right. That gets dropped, which was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say takes it, I don't mean does the drug, but rather, like, I guess to convince the others that she actually did want it.
Physically grabs the thing. Yeah.
But then comes home and dumps that down the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was interesting. Because you know what's funny? And like, we specifically see her flush the toilet too. like I think, given that this production team has done Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, they know how ravenous fans are and how detail oriented fans are. And if they hadn't shown us her flushing the toilet, there would be endless theories that she didn't actually.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting the way. I just think it's interesting the way the like fan reactions and the internet is influencing storytelling.
Yeah.
Because it was actually kind of a long scene. It took up a lot of the episode, not a lot of the episode, but like it was longer than it felt like it needed to be. But if they didn't, people would have assumed that she was like hiding it in some way, or that it's off camera, something that happened. So anyway, it's an interesting thing they have to contend with, I think.
Yeah. And then she gets, I mean, it appears pretty comfortable about how she's administering, right? Like she just gets the thing and she's slapping her arm and she knows what she's doing. Off she goes.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know. Like she didn't seem uncomfortable, but she seemed good to go.
Yeah.
And knows, how to draw properly and things like that and the lid. So that's interesting. And then, she falls asleep. But then she wakes up, she turns on the video and watches herself, and she's like, what is going on?
This is an amazing performance. She sets up a camera, and I was listening to the official podcast, and Ray Seahorn talks about how like she comes to this realization that there's not going to be any coverage of this, right? They're actually the only footage of this scene is going to be from the handycam she sets up. And she comes to the realization that like she's going to have to record it all in real time for it to work, to be able to like fast forward and rewind, right? And I don't know if that was 100% true, because there are obviously lots of cuts where we see Carol reacting to herself later. But I could be wrong, but I think she had to do all of that like over the like in real time. Like she like that would be a wild thing to have to do as a like what a random and weird, like that must have been over an hour of and nobody can stop her like you can. I mean, maybe they did, but yeah, I think they treated it like it was like one take, and you had to stay in it. Yeah, kind of interesting.
Yep.
So
then she broke down crying.
Yeah.
Zosha's Roban, how annoying. Yeah, we love the whole world. Nobody who loves the whole world is actually that happy. They're lying,
right.
Yeah. And then she makes the comment about why does she have to be so fuckable?
Right.
And then she decides to go see Zosha. She says, shit. And then she goes and sees Zosha.
Yeah.
And then Zosha says, how was the heroin?
Right.
And she admits that she chickened out.
Yeah.
So that was like the vulnerability that she's giving Zosha is.
But I don't think she had. Do you think she intended to do the heroin?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
But the fact that she decided to tell her the truth anyway, and she
right.
like it was great.
But so I would argue though that like chickening out, saying she chickened out is a lie too, right? But it sounds very true. It sounds absolutely true. But I think she's lying to Zosha there, right? Like it's all part of her scheme. And as she's doing this, I'm like, okay, I'm putting together, oh, she's gonna give Zosha this same dose.
Yep.
And I'm immediately starting to think about like how she intends to make this happen, because presumably Zosha will have defenses, like people will come to her aid when this happens. So I was like, oh, she's gonna have to get her somewhere alone.
Yep.
And separate. And I kind of thought maybe that was gonna be the elevator.
It was.
But then she left the elevator.
So she had in the elevator, she had the IV and she pulled it out and she asked her, this was interesting. She said, can you, whatever, you know everything. So what happened to elevator music?
Right.
And she's like, oh, well, I can do that for you. So she does. And while she's like kind of mentally working on getting the music in the elevator, she puts the serum into the IV bag.
Right. But I mean the interrogation. Like the interrogation is going to have to happen somewhere private.
Oh, yes.
And like
she takes her outside.
Right.
Yeah.
Which seems kind of silly to me, because I mean, it definitely gave them some privacy, but not like defense against all the people that Zosha might sort of bring to her.
Yeah, because you could see the intimidation as soon as the other people started noticing. That was freaky.
For sure. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yes.
It was creepy.
You'd think, wouldn't you want to have her locked in the well, I mean, I guess if you locked the hospital room immediately, people would kind of start
Right.
thinking that something's going on. So then she might not even get a chance to ask her questions.
Right.
Also, how long does it take for this truth serum to set in?
Yeah, that was another
Right?
thing.
Like, it seemed with her that it happened, it took a little bit.
But I think Carol's plan for that was the handcuffs. She was like,
Yeah.
even if they try to separate us, I can stay with her and keep talking to her because I'll handcuff her.
Yeah, because I have agency. You can't hurt
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Because it seemed like they were going to do something to her
Yeah,
until she locked herself to Zosha.
right. Yeah.
And then they were like
they won't get physical with her.
they said they wouldn't.
Yeah,
But they were like, there were like 30 of them around her, very
intimate.
close.
Pretty intimidating. Yeah. More interesting like choreography too around this.
And they're all crying at the same time. Yeah.
So interesting. I've never seen a scene like this.
No.
Like it's another cool opportunity for. But before we get into that section, what did she get out of Zosha? Anything?
She got that. I think there might be a way to actually have it be reversible.
Right.
But the capacity of being able to give that to her literally was killing her.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that was very interesting because it seemed like she was starting to get there. She didn't want to, but the serum was making it happen. And you could also tell that that was making the others very angry, like very angry.
Certainly upset, right?
Mhm.
Like this mantra of "Please, Carol,"
Please, Carol.
was like really, really shocking. And Ray Seahorn is going to win an Emmy. Her response to this was so good.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't feel like we really got any information out of it, and I guess that's by design. Like we did get a lot of new information this episode. I'm totally satisfied with that. And then this plan didn't really work the way she hoped. And
yeah, we didn't get any real tangible results. Like the interesting part about starting to ask her about the truth serum again, about seeing how it was set in, was asking her like, what temperature is it today?
yeah.
Where's the precipitation and
Mhm.
where's the wind coming from?
Yeah.
So, okay. Is that, I mean, I guess that tells you that it's truthful, but yeah. How can I reverse it? How do I put it back?
Like Zosha's going to tell her those things anyway. If he asks
Mhm.
him. I don't. Yeah. Maybe it was just about priming her for answering questions. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and the like attack of like, this is making me sad that you're not telling me.
Right.
It's making me sad. That's
Yes.
hurting me.
Yeah.
You can't hurt me.
And Zosha's crying, and it's
Yeah.
you're sad. You can make me happy. You're sad because you're not making me happy.
Yeah.
It was a fascinating scene, actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another cool tidbit, and I feel like I'm stealing so much from the official podcast. So please check it out. It's worth checking out. But did you know that you haven't seen Better Call Saul, right? So when they were shooting Better Call Saul, Ray Seahorn is there at this scene where Bob Odenkirk, they're just shooting a scene in like an apartment living room or a condo living room. And Bob Odenkirk has a heart attack for real.
Oh,
This really happened, like traumatic event on set.
and Zosha's going into a cardiac arrest again.
Yes. And so,
wow.
So the other who played the medic who came in with whatever device
Yeah.
she was going to use to try to
That
save her.
looks cool too. Again, how they all opened up
Oh
perfectly.
my God. Yeah, the choreography again, like from above. So
yeah,
cool.
so good.
Yeah. Again, a scene unlike any scene you would see anywhere else. But the woman who played the paramedic who showed up is the real life paramedic who saved Bob Odenkirk's life. Like, what a cool,
wow.
what an interesting,
very method of them.
Yes. Yeah.
Very method for Carol to be like, it happened.
And that kind of thing is like why we're doing this podcast, because they do like they put all these little Easter eggs in the show, and it's very fun.
Yeah, that is very fun.
Yeah.
And the layers of it in there. And then they ask, like, she chains herself, handcuffs herself to Zosha, and they say, like, you can't touch me because I have agency, but she's attached to Zosha.
Yeah.
And they're like, but can we help her?
Right.
Can we help Zosha?
She's dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's having a cardiac arrest, Carol. Can we help her? Please, Carol, let us help her.
Yeah.
And then they cut the handcuff off and they go to help her. But yeah, we don't really know.
And like, no problem, by the way, to like just snap that handcuff. Like,
Yeah.
like that was another good tidbit. Like, oh, I thought Carol was smart for doing that, but also like they're gonna have pretty quick access to what are those things called? I have a friend and mentor named Murray Ord, who's one of the great location managers in Alberta. He was once the Alberta film commissioner, but he was a great location manager and was like the go-to guy, and he's flown around in helicopters with like Clint Eastwood and like
Cool.
done some amazing stuff. And he would carry around those kinds of lock clippers.
Cutters, yeah.
Yeah, what's the word for them? I guess just cutters.
Mm-hmm.
He would call that his master key. He kept it in his truck, and he would keep it there because you can't hold up production, right? Like, hundreds of thousands of dollars may be at stake, and there's a gate
I can't wait whether or not you responded to this email. I told you I'm showing up. We got to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, they said that gate would be unlocked, but it's not unlocked. So we will replace the lock.
We'll apologize later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean those are going to be pretty handy in the janitor's closet in the hospital, right? So,
they'd also know like the infinite number of keys that they could pull from and where they would be, but I suppose that it was just faster to get the cutter.
Right, for sure. Oh, good point. Yeah. Although I bet Carol's smart enough to like not make the keys have easy access. Like she wouldn't leave them in the car.
She probably has it.
Yeah. Yeah. They might be on her. Yeah.
Is that my lack of knowledge? Yes.
Wow. So I remember being like, I mean, the show has done it every episode. I've been like, oh, left me wanting more.
Yes. Give me more.
But yeah, we actually got so much this episode, and that fascinating again, like a scene we don't really see in other shows. Mm-hmm. Someone recording themselves with truth serum, and the ups and downs of that whole thing, and again, like I said at the beginning, finally seeing her do some really hardcore mourning. It was really painful to see. Mm-hmm. But like needed. I guess I should also mention that like she's obviously self-medicating, right? Like we're seeing a lot of pills, we're seeing a lot of alcohol, so it's not as though she's not feeling it, but it's the first time we've kind of seen it expressed since she's been buried. So yeah. So overall thoughts? Any other thoughts on this one?
I mean, we want to see more, and it's still sort of frustrating that we're at the end of the 4th episode, and now that we're not confirmed that there's a way to take it back, or to reverse it. It's been a lot of Carol getting upset and them getting hurt, which we're seeing this play again. We got to see some real questioning though, which is nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
We really learned some excellent, tangible new things about the whole situation, which I really value. And I mean, I think it was this week that Vince was quoted as saying to the question, how many seasons of this show do you think it's going to be? And he said, who knows, 4 or 5 seasons maybe.
Okay.
So he's got a lot of runway to deliver a lot of this information, presumably. But I believe that he genuinely doesn't know. Like he's like famously, the Breaking Bad writers' room would try to like put themselves in a corner at the end of every season, not knowing how they were going to get out of it, and like they would come back to the writers' room for the next season and try to figure out the problem that they created for themselves. And it was always so successful. Like normally you don't want to do that as a writer. You want to have everything sort of planned out. But my guess is he probably has not like solved a lot of the problems for season 2 yet.
That's a lot of faith in the team too. I was
for sure
talking to Marlo about that with South Park, because he was explaining that South Park does the same. Like they release their episodes and they don't know. That's how it's so tangible and relative to world news.
Oh my god, yeah, because it's so timely,
right?
It's amazing, yeah.
They don't know on Monday what they're talking about. They go to the drawing board and like an hour before it's due on Friday, submit it to them. Like,
have you seen that documentary 6 Days to Air?
Not yet.
Oh, it's so good. It's so about their whole process, and how they're like incorporating things that happen like 3 days before it airs. But what's interesting is this season they failed. They did not successfully complete an episode.
Oh,
Which is like, and you see them in this documentary. The producer delivers the tape of the episode to like the
broadcast
satellite
network?
to go out to the network 3 hours before it's
Yeah.
actually got to go. Like, it's insane. The pressure must be crazy. But yeah, that is a good way of keeping it timely for sure.
Yeah. And even in Toronto, they do it. I think someone in Lethbridge did it here, but there's like a 48-hour film festival.
Mm-hmm.
So those always are challenging and fun.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do it next year.
Yeah. Well, there is one in Calgary. The Calgary Underground Film Festival does a
Oh, they do a
does
48-hour. Okay.
48-hour challenge.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know what that is, you start, at least the ones that I've participated in Ontario.
Yeah.
You have a team. You've decided on a team. And you show up, and Friday at like 4:00, you pull out of a hat, and you have to have like an object, a saying, main character name, and then whatever you're pulling is a genre.
Right.
And then
Basically things so you can't pre-plan
Yeah.
your short film.
Yeah. And then at the end of the weekend, you have to submit a film.
Right.
And then at the end, you have like a film festival because you get to watch all of them and vote for your favorites.
For
So
sure. Yeah.
that would be
It's
fun.
a lot of fun. And there's like sometimes there's 24-hour film races and like
Okay.
yeah, there's all sorts of these challenges. It can be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We should host one.
We should host one.
Yeah, let's do it.
That would be fun. We got to be on the same team.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Them versus us.
Yeah. The others. Yeah.
The others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, this was a great episode. I thought. I mean, again, there's an art form to like delivering the information carefully and
So I guess the question, and this is just hearsay, is do we think that Zosha's going to come back? Is she going to live?
right. Yeah.
And if she does or if she doesn't, like, these people are very upset with her. Like, do you think
Right.
that they're going to punish her, or do you think that they only serve to make her happy? So what do you think they're going to do?
That's a good question. I think they're just going to come back and be like, sorry, we put you through that, Carol. Like it's going to if they're going to treat it like it's their fault, for upsetting her or, and I still don't quite understand that, right? Like that, like why is that the behavior? And I often think about like, okay, this entity has like all knowledge that, all living human beings held at that moment. And I mean, I just like, I don't know, all sorts of secrets that, the general population doesn't know. And they're more concerned about getting Carol breakfast. Yeah. As far as we know, right? The interesting thing is our perspective up until this episode has really only been from Carol's perspective, right? We only get to see what she and now our new character at the storage unit.
He also wrote Carol say Turka.
Oh yeah, he wrote.
I don't know that Carol is
Sturka is her last name. Is Carol's last name?
Oh,
yeah, but
with a question mark.
Yeah, but where did he get her last name from? Did she say that?
She did.
She did. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, so obviously he took note of the fact that the others don't behave. They don't get angry. So that is an interesting tidbit. Yeah. He wrote her name down. That is interesting. But he doesn't seem like eager to find her, or yeah. So I don't know. Interesting. But it looks like, according to IMDb, he's going to play a pretty big role in this.
Yeah, because I remember when we were looking at that, and he was like number 3 or number 4 on the IMDb like call sheet.
Yeah,
it's like we haven't seen him yet. So
yeah. And we're in episode 3. How do we?
Yeah, like he was ahead of Helen.
Yeah, and like,
well, I mean, Helen's gone now, so that
right,
makes sense.
right. Yeah. And no Helen this episode in a flashback either. Yeah, but like I thought Kumba was gonna.
I thought
bigger...
we'd have more of him,
and maybe we will, but
yeah,
but
he's in Vegas right now.
Yeah, just chilling. Yeah.
7,
yeah,
the best time.
Yeah, for sure.
With his unlimited amount of whomever he might like.
Yeah. Give me one more. Like I'm always curious about your perspective on the acting.
Mm-hmm.
And that scene between the guy in the bike outfit
Yep.
and Carol was like kind of unlike any scene I've ever seen before. This is the cool thing about the show is like I've said before, it's not a completely never been done idea before, but it hasn't actually been explored all that much as far as I can tell. And so we're getting these unique flavors and tastes of this, the kind of elements that we can get out of this particular version of it, especially when the being is not evil, or at least not behaving in a way that is like trying to kill Carol or something like that. So yeah, tell me your thoughts about this scene at the like dining room table between these two.
So I had a role. What I noticed in this character is, when he says, she asks, "What's your name?" And he, and she goes, "Yeah, I know you're them, but what is, this human identified as this, but his friends called him, so."
And he had many.
And he had many friends.
Yeah.
Yes. And he had that, I don't know. And he looked like he had a punchable face, but
yeah.
you're right. He just,
yeah, I guess like kind of a known actor though, like that, like he's like, according to the.
He looked familiar.
Yeah,
which tells which means that I've seen you somewhere, which is good.
Yeah, apparently a big Snickers campaign. He was in a big.
Okay, that's a choice again.
Yep, for sure.
Wearing a bike suit.
No, I think he was a Viking apparently.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. He seems very. So I had a role once where I played a robot.
Okay.
In a human body.
Cool.
But it was basically like I was an AI, and it was called, it was called Date, and it went in a few film festivals in Toronto, and it won some awards. But it was basically like the dating world. The gentleman would talk to me, and he couldn't move to the next level and actually meet humans until he taught and spoke with me with respect.
Oh,
and he spoke with me and could carry a genuine conversation,
right.
not just what you see on dating sites these days, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I got from this person. But it's a interesting act in how they play kind, but they're creepy.
Yes.
Like, he is nice. He's like, "Oh yes, no problem." But it's my mother taught me very well, and it scared me when she gets like this, is the customer service voice.
Yeah.
Like she's seething with anger, and she's like, "Oh, but I just hope you have the very best day."
Exactly.
Like that's terrifying.
Sure,
know?
You're so right. They're so often in the customer service voice mode. And we're so often trained to be like, well, that's not their genuine opinion or feelings right now. That is a cover or a ploy or a means to an end. And repeatedly, it becomes true that that's not the case. This is the genuine feelings of the others.
Well, maybe that's the thing. Maybe the others are just living the unfortunate customer service life.
Maybe.
And underneath, because we know
that's right,
that you will be joining us.
Yeah.
So that's the monster of the customer service that gets off their shift or gets to have the smoke in the back, and they say what they really mean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think being on this would be just a lot of fun in general. And it would be so fun to approach. Yeah, absolutely. Sure. And also to get all those people to cry and to be upset, there's no shame in it. I'm guessing that tear sticks were used.
Yeah, they were talking about this. That there were so many of them that had to be done. There were a lot of people running around, managing tears on people's faces. But they also said there were also lots of real tears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the actor and the actor's range, and whether, I've had moments where I can get myself there, and then you can tell when you're pushing it. So that's never good to do. So using a tear stick to help is helpful for sure.
What is a tear stick?
So it literally looks, at least in the ones that I've used, it literally looks like a lipstick tube.
Okay.
But it's clear.
Okay.
And then you just rub it underneath your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like people have explained, I wouldn't recommend this, but people have explained if you don't have a tear stick, something similar would be like Vaseline
Okay.
or like Vicks.
Oh,
Like
okay.
Vicks Vapor Rub under your eyes.
Okay.
And the closer you get to your eye, the more sensitive it is. So like putting it underneath, but yeah, it will sting the eye and it will start like reacting,
Okay.
right? And then if a lot of, just as an acting tip, I don't know, but you know, most of us, we're trying to do the action of what it's not. Because usually in real life, you're not actively like, I'm gonna cry. Like you're trying not to
Oh
cry.
yes, because like if you're playing drunk, you're trying to hide the fact that you're drunk.
Yes.
Is about
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So when you're trying to cry on camera, you're actually actively trying not to cry.
Right.
So what are you doing? You're normally like
Right.
you're like trying to hold it in or whatever. You're like heaving and you're like trying to breathe
Right.
properly, right? So you can get yourself to kind of physically enact that and like trick your body to
Right.
believe that.
But then these actors had a different challenge, which was that they weren't trying not to cry.
Yeah.
That like none of them were like actively trying not to cry.
And even their cry was interesting. Like they were just standing there and tears are flowing down and they're like, please stop. Like,
Yeah.
you know, but they weren't like pleading,
Right,
you know,
right.
like really, but
This is why it's, I think, such a unique acting opportunity
Mhm.
for these folks. And apparently they didn't really know what was going on. Like they didn't really let a lot of the actors in on what exactly was happening.
probably not. I mean, it's been a while since I've done background, but most of the time it's just you list your day of availability and you show up,
Show up,
right?
you don't even necessarily know what it is.
No.
Yeah.
You might know like what type of show it is, but you often don't know what you're doing.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But I think even after they wrapped, they didn't necessarily know what this show was about exactly, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Wonder if they shared donuts.
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about glycerin though? I've never really seen a tear stick in action, but I have seen like fake tear drops using glycerin.
Okay.
Which, you know, is kind of helps, kind of works.
That zoom in moment where you see that, like
which is great. Yeah,
that's the moment.
But it has a downside to it too, where it's like, okay, well,
timing.
Yeah, it's not repeatable. I mean, it is, but you have to keep doing. Yeah, so it's interesting. Like getting someone to cry for real is, I guess, going to be the better way of doing it.
I think so. And I mean, the makeup artist that I was working with on the calendar that I just finished creating, she was telling me that when she had done the tear stick stuff, like anything, like some people reacted completely different. Like some people, just a small drop and they're like, ooh. And then she's like, other people, like every 5 minutes, they're like, it's supposed to last half an hour. Like, why are you enjoying this? I just really needed this release, guys.
This is, I've been waiting for this. Well, this has been another great episode. I'm gonna try. You've been so good about it. I'm gonna try to remind people to subscribe on YouTube. YouTube is a good place to watch the show.
Give us a follow.
Yeah. You can turn on notifications as well.
Yes.
I'm good at this.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Look at you go.
And you can both watch and listen on Spotify. So you can choose to just listen, or you can also watch the show on Spotify.
Share it with your friends.
It's the share button on all of these things. There's also pluripod.com, which has, you know, everything you might want to know about the show. You can email us at pluripod@gmail.com. You should follow the Instagram account. We'd love it if you'd follow us as well. And anything else we need to mention?
Just don't be afraid to let us know your thoughts and feelings about the show, about if you would want to join them, if you would actively stay with us and fight them. Which team are you on? Are you team them or team us? You know? If you think it would be a greater kindness to end up joining them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I honestly, like we're learning about it being reversible.
Mm-hmm.
If it is reversible, I would want to know what it's like. I would want to know that I could definitely undo it. But I would definitely be interested to connect that way. That would be interesting.
Right? Like if you could have any superpower, what would you have?
Oh, I mean, I've flight, like the ability to fly.
Okay.
Is like incredible. What about
As a human?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've two. You
Okay.
can't pick both, but
Right.
if you flipped a coin,
Yeah.
I would probably want like shape shifting, so I could fly, or I could swim, or
Ooh.
I could,
Damn, that's a good one.
wherever it might be.
It's like wishing for more wishes.
Yeah. Or like something to do with telekinesis, or like either mind understanding, or like being able to move objects with your mind.
Right.
Although there are like CIA documents out there that prove that you can do this. But
What, for real?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there are like leak footage that you can, leak CIA documents that you can learn how to do this.
We're gonna have to do
I don't know about
this podcast.
shapeshifting, but about like
Moving things with your mind.
yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting. I mean, yeah. I guess we'll have to do that podcast. Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you so much for listening. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. We're gonna be at the halfway point at that point. Can't believe it already. Only 9 episodes, so we'll see you then.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.